Good evening, everybody, and welcome to what I hope is going to be a Pyanodon stream to wrap up the entire series. Unfortunately, I'm having a bit of trouble getting on the server at the minute. It's downloading the map. It connects fine, it's all the bits it needs to, then it tries to catch up, and it just goes backwards. I'm just going to try it one more time now. Map downloads fine, loads the multiplayer map. And then it goes backwards. Not a good sign. I'm just checking to see if Bitfrotter is around in Discord. It doesn't appear to be at the minute. He's playing Factorio, obviously. I'm just trying to see if he'll appear. Ah, there he is. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Yeah, I don't know if it's me or you, to be perfectly honest. My connection seems absolutely fine, but it's just not playing ball. I'm going to try quitting Factorio entirely and reloading just to be 100% sure that it's not my game being silly. Because you never know. You gotta try turning it off and on again, haven't you? Rule out all possibilities. Okie dokie. Bitfrot's going to restart the server, so we'll see if that makes a difference. And I'll just load up and wait for him to give me the green light. And we'll see then if we can get on. Always good fun. Yeah, so the plan of attack, hopefully for tonight, is join the Pyanodon server. See if we can end the game, as it were, with the strangelets to make space science. If it's not already been done, you don't know. And then have a bit of a base tour, see what's been built, where we started and where we've come from, what we've got now. And once that's all done, then move over for a bit of speed running, do some more There Is No Steel Axe, hopefully anyway. Right, cool, the server's gone from the list, so I'll just keep that up and refreshing, see when it reappears. Hopefully it won't be too long. I believe the server is built on a pretty beefy bit of kit, so I don't imagine it will take long to reset everything. But there's still quite a few servers that are on 0.28. One other server running there with someone on it. There's a server here in the list. Oh, there's two servers, sorry, with someone on. Up and running, cool. There it is. Right, let's have a bash. Back and learn to type. Okay, saving the map. Downloading the near 50 megabyte map for Factorio. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Such a ridiculously large map we've built. The most inefficient way possible as well. 47 mega seen there, yeah. So loading. Okay, it's trying. It's slowly going the right way, that's fine. It's always a bit slow catching up, unfortunately. It's just the way, I think it's just the way the game is with the mod pack as it is. Whoa, there you go. Bloody hell. I came out of left field, that shot up. I don't know what happened there, but whatever you did, bit, that flew at the end. Wow. You've ever seen it load up that quick towards the end? Jeez. Right, there's the quantum computer. Frames per second is still taking a massive hit, but that's just part of the course nowadays. So, from what I believe, all I need to do is put strangelets into the quantum computer to win the mod pack. On a technical level, that's the sort of end game. There's obviously plenty of still tech to research, there's still plenty of efficiencies you can do. You can obviously make Mark IV stuff, you can make all sorts of extra bits to improve the actual gameplay. So you can get, if you want to build this on a big scale like some people are, if you've not seen Injacera or Freak Source playing this, they've got some epic bases being built. Absolutely epic bases. All, I think they're mainly train based. And it's insane. When you look at our lime scale or limestone mess Well, this is what we ended up with after 29 streaming days, and I think about just over 5 weeks. I think it was 5 weeks on Friday, so 5 weeks and 2 days I think is the official sort of run-in time for the server and the game as such, with the sort of 4 to 5 of us constantly playing, and I think there was up to 7 of us at one point towards the start, so I don't know if we've still got the old, I'm trying to think where the old start of the base was now. I think it was somewhere around the mall. This is where we started building. Put a mall in, we had the train tracks come in. There's the old rocket silo with a load of cars nearby. That we're still struggling for parts on that. Oh no. No, the rocket is ready. The rocket launchers are good to go, so we could actually launch another rocket while we're here. We might do that for fun as well. We had the old train network set up as well. Although, to be fair, we didn't use a lot of the trains. Looking back, what we set up, the trains were more for people carrying rather than actual goods. The ones we used a lot of was this stop here to get in the niobium from here and then eventually up here. So this train line was actually used for stuff. This one, again, this was just for people to get there quicker. Yeah, the majority of these train lines were just to try and get us. I love how that's far northwest, and actually the northwest is now miles up here. Just shows you how far we built out from where we built the original train line. Absolutely insane. So yeah, so I mean the mall expanded to quite a reasonable amount in the end. Playtime on the map is 563 hours. What's that in real money then? Let's do a quick calculation on the old where's my calculator? 563 hours works out to be 563 divided by 24 hours in a day. 20, just shy of 23.5 days. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's pretty impressive for a single game. That explains why my playtime in Factorio shot up recently. I'm playing this constantly. Yep, so this was our mall. I think this mall could have been better. I think looking back at this mall, we could have done a lot more a lot sooner here. The storage system worked well around the edge, but I think we could have done a lot more, a lot better with the mall set up to get things out to us quicker. What's the bot situation? What do we have bot wise? 6,100 logistic, 2,600 construction rods. Yeah, we had 8,700 robots flying around. That's not bad. And some of these designs are pretty cool for some of these buildings. A lot of them we ended up just obviously building via robots. So a lot of this stuff here is just robots bring in, robots put out, job done. With a few tweaks here for like water and such coming in. So a lot of the builds ended up becoming very samey towards the end, because once you get the infrastructure behind it, the bots basically take over. I think some of my favourite builds myself was, where's this one over here by the train tracks here, the niobium was quite a fun one. Getting the train to bring it in, working out the whole production line of jaw crushers. So your jaw crushers output what you need, then it filters out the crap, and gravel in this case, puts the secondary product into ball mills, puts that product out into classifiers, and then again I think it also filtered out the sand. So again you had like the output, main output you want to go this way, the sand gets put out into a box with the network. They then got all taken into your chemical plants to give you the output you needed, which in this case was the niobium complex. Again with a few extra added bits in, because obviously this section up here, so this section here is where this is the input. So you've got the organic solvent, you've got hydrogen chloride being made somewhere, they just pumped in. You've then got the complex was being barreled up, which again, to be fair, wasn't completely necessary because it was coming straight down and into the end process. But these builds will feature quite heavily throughout this entire playthrough. You see a lot of these, and some bigger ones. I think this is probably one of them. Yeah, this is probably one of the most biggest ones of them. Where you have, where's the input? I built this way, didn't I? I have to see where the input is now. Oh, here's it, input. Input into here. This crushes them, puts your output. Takes the output, gets rid of the stone rubbish. There's like 2 rows of that. Then feeds it into the secondary automated screeners. Outputs the good stuff. Gets rid of the bad stuff. Puts it into the next one, the secondary crushers for more. And then into the impact crushers again for more. And again into ball mills for more. Before you get into the classifiers for the liquids you need. And there's quite a common theme throughout a lot of Pyanodons. There was a lot of these sort of chains set up. Myself in the mid game, there seemed to be a lot of the stuff I was doing. I think Akron built this one. Yeah, Akron built this one up. 5 frames a second. I am absolutely rocking it tonight on my 5 frames. It's hurting my eyes. It's really hurting my eyes. Now what's this one here? Yep, again you see very similar idea. Stuff goes in, stuff comes out, and it's then all processed into the various places. This one here, what's this up here? Oh yeah, Tholins. Good old Tholins. They were good for quite a lot of free stuff, to be honest. Maybe a bit overpowered, to be fair. I think that's been tweaked in the latest update, which we didn't bother updating because we wanted to keep it the same as Dgray's settings. Yeah, I think you're right, Akron. I think getting on my dragon is a good idea. Look at that. How have I got 2 dragons? Well, don't know how I've managed that, but okay. I can't even move right now. What on earth is going on? Okay, I can't actually move at the moment, so that's nice. Multiplayer statistics. Hang on, let me find that one. I've not used that one before. Does it hide under multiplayer statistics? Latency 25 ticks, buffer 787, 752, 740, jump 763. Is that jumps as in how many jumps from me to the server? If that's the case, then that explains why I couldn't get on. It's age. And my knees are seized up. Okay, well my jumps is getting higher. That probably explains why I can't actually do anything at the minute. That's cool. I can still do a bit from map view and just have to take the hit on the FPS at the minute. I did wonder why I couldn't get on at first. A bit for I had to reset the server for me just so I could log on. True, I could save it and then go to single player, couldn't I? Let's try that. That would probably be a very sensible idea, because no one else can get on if I'm on anyway, so it's kind of a there we go. Let's do that. That's a cracking idea, actually. Load the game up. Load Pyanodons, please. There we go. Oh, here we go. Glorious, glorious. 57 frames a second. That's better. That's a good idea. Thank you very much. Here we go. Now we can get a proper overview of the base as we fly over things. Still getting 50 frames a second, so it's taking still a little bit of a hit. I can see why it struggled overall. So I think first things first, what I'm going to do before I fly away from the quantum computer, I'm going to put the strangelets in and see if it does trigger the end game completion, as it were. Let's see if I got them on me somewhere. Where are they? I forgot what they look like. There we go. They're in. Processing. That's going to take them 60 seconds to give us 3 space science pack. But in theory, that's believe that is officially the end game. The quantum computer with strangelets going in, and once they're in and producing space science, that is officially the end of the game. Let's put a speed module in there just to give it a little bit of a boost. Oh, those aquariums are nice. The Dilmo pool. They're funky. I do like the animations in this mod pack. There's been some really cool, even the particle accelerator here just looks really cool. There's some real good work gone into that. Okay, here we go, any second now. I believe this triggers the end game. I don't know if it'll work in the single player mode or not. We'll find out in a sec. Doesn't trigger anything per se. I was kind of expecting to do the whole bling screen like the rocket launch, but maybe they couldn't make it do that. That is officially where the game ends for us. But I do believe someone said on stream before there was a bug somewhere in one of the versions where you couldn't complete it. Like there's something stopped you from completing the actual mod pack technically, but that's effectively the game ended at that point. So that's you know, nice to see. I think to be fair for the community, I think it was nice to have the rocket launches. I think that was a pinnacle moment in this mod pack for us. I think that was pretty much to signify the end of the mod pack for most people. I'm taking a slow flight over here and have a look for some cool things to look at. See what, you know, there's a lot of messes still about, obviously, from our initial builds. A lot of Tholins. We use a lot of Tholins for stuff, to be fair. Nice looking builds up here. These were binaries built. Oh, these are binaries builds. Very nice. These things are funky. The pressurized reef. Oh wow. Got like a giant fish in it or something. It's pretty cool. Oh yes, I can turn off tile grid now actually. There we go. Didn't need that on. There's a load of slaughterhouses down here with some beacons, very nice. This is at the edge of the limestone run. Got oil refineries making tar, electrolyzers, and all this lot down here. Screeners, what are these making here? O2, H2, oxygen, hydrogen, chlorine all being made up there. Benzene, aromatics, cold water slurry. A lot of good stuff being made up here. See the sheer amount of bots still flying around is insane. It's set up over here by binary as well. This is for syngas, I'm guessing. Oh no, enriched uranium. Oh nice. Ah, that's right. He did say he was working on an enriched uranium setup. I think I set one up a few days ago, but it was very much, it's there, it works, it got what we needed, but it was not efficient in the slightest. So seaweed, lots and lots of seaweed. More Tholins. A bit of space, actual empty space. Wow. Fish farms, lots of fish, lots and lots of fish. And the orgs, I remember when we set the orgs up originally. God, it doesn't seem that long ago, but it was like a month ago we started building all this stuff. That's insane. Hey, I can hear the rocket. It's just launched a rocket. Did you put a satellite in or not? The dancing cats, here's the dancing cats. I don't look at these, I love these dancing cats. Such a random thing to have. Absolutely random as. Nice. The bio printers over here, they were handy for building some of the parts we needed early on. more fins, there's a few of those. Oil derricks up here. Some more creature chambers. Xenopens. What was this here? Mukmoos? Look a bit like colourful rhinoceroses. So over here. Boro slacked. Is this my build? Oh yes, this is what I built. Look at this. Look at this mess. One of the many fun builds I had to put together. I think it's even got the original Phil's couch. The 3 boxes. Phil's couch. That was the rough and ready version before we upgraded to the executive version. So well, that's quite well. That's lasted and still going strong. To be fair, that's good. I was making syngas and all sorts. So nice. Oh, what's this up here? I didn't come out this way before. This is an Acron build. What have we got here? Solid separators. Ah, okay, it was doing the borax. Converting all this. Very nice little build, very nice. Your old couch, Phil, yeah. You've upgraded twice since, I think. Let's head down this way. What do we got down here? Tufra plantations and Plandium labs. Plandium. Ah, okay, that was a free resource factory. Nice. The Yotoi Alloy orchard. Some more mining and oils out here. Where are we on the map now? Okay, there's still. Yeah, I'd say probably leave it for a little bit longer. I think Binary and a few others are still attempting to do some endgame stuff just to try and get their heads around it, because they can use the server as like a testing ground for endgame stuff and designs. I think it's quite handy for short term. Maybe another week or so, and just let Binary and everyone else who's been on know that you intend to take it down on a certain date. It's probably the best way. Give everyone a heads up, then they can sort of hop on and grab a save game then if they want to run it in single player for future use. So actually that works quite a lot better for me. So yeah, good idea. Stick it in Discord, and at least everyone knows then what the intentions are. More wood processing. Wow, that's a lot of wood processing. Botanical nurseries, a lot of those. Loads of seaweed. I think I helped set some of the seaweeds up as well. Oil derricks, combustion turbines down here. What's out down here? This is the last. This is the bit I built semi-recently down here. The moly trioxide. This is a good build. I like this one. This is quite a good one to build once, then copy and paste. Including Phil's executive couch at the top here. This is the redesigned couch. I like that one. I think that one looks quite cool. This is actually all backed up, hasn't it? That one's still just about going. There's actually that much going through. It's all backed up to a certain extent. Nice. And if we come up this way, there's another Acron build. So many different recipes for this mod pack. I'm still amazed by the sheer scale of this mod pack and just how much stuff we had to build. I know early game we're looking around just going, what do we do next? What where do you go? What do you do? And here we are 25 days later with some of these beautiful builds, looking very modular, I might add, which is quite nice, and compact in some cases. And it all seemed to come together in the end. Artificial reefs here. What are these ones here? Apiary hydrocarbon plant. Yes, oh, bees. There you go. You see the bees in there. Again, the animations on some of this stuff is just stunning. Such a good job with the mod pack. Really have. We got here oxygen furnaces. Iron slime. God, there's so many different products. Like I say, I think we had a few conversations at time where a lot of this stuff you see in game is actually based on real world stuff and real world processes, and that's quite impressive to put that level of detail into the point where you're copying a real life process for some of the stuff that goes on. Right here, this is all copper solution, acid solvent, and your tailings, copper pulps. That's the upgraded copper stage to get better copper plates. And down this way, I think I was making industrial diamonds here. Yeah, this is my chain that I went round the room with to get industrial diamonds out. That was quite a fun build. I remember doing that one. How many diamonds did we end up? Were you using them all? Looks like we're using all of the diamonds. It's 500 up there, so not bad. Fusion, what's that? I've not been down here. This looks new. There's the anitronic fusion reactor. I think binary energy. I think that was running the power at one point, or still is maybe. We see the power situation. Wow. And we were fretting when we were getting to 2 to 3 gigawatts out of 8 because of the combustion recipe. We're now using 3.6 to 3.7 gigawatts out of a potential 127 gigawatts of power. That is insane. That is absolutely bonkers. That is so much power. Wow, I'm shocked by that. That is an absolutely insane amount. You never run out of power that running then. Goodness me. No wonder we wanted to set that up. That's like just power for days, that is. What did I set up over here? Something that doesn't have power. How did I not set power up to that? That is shocking. There you go. Oh yes, I remember this one. Yeah, that was for this refined syngas or something. Or hot syngas or something like that. In here. That was a good build. There's a helium chain down here. Binary did that one. Akram did some setups as well. More dancing cats. Oh, Mark 3s, wow. Nice. Hey, cheers, Bit. Thanks for sorting the server for me as well. Yeah, fingers crossed to get another personal best in a bit. That's what I'm aiming for anyway. So it's sulfur, what we got up here? Sulfur recurring. Ah, this is what Binary was talking about. I think he's made self-sufficient sulfur now. So you no longer need to mine sulfur, so that's pretty cool. Let's head up this way. There's some empty space here, which is quite nice. We've got plenty of space to expand into. I suspect, at least in solo, it's good to know that even building something this crazy and this big, you shouldn't have to worry if you've got a good enough PC to run at this sort of level. You should be absolutely fine. I say multiplayer, we were testing the limits a little bit of the mod pack and whatnot. More tholins over here. What's this stuff? This is more copper stuff coming out of here. So again, these are more upgraded cycles of different basic parts. As I said, for the most part, once you've got that sort of infrastructure down, the later game stuff, it did seem to accelerate. We did seem to go from, oh, we're struggling to get utility science to, bang, 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 upgrade this, upgrade that. We had 3 or 4 upgrades done in an evening each. Before you knew it, we're launching rockets and getting space science. Solo, I think if I did this solo, I think I would have to redesign a lot of the ways I did it, Phil. I don't think I could build it this way solo because it's just too chaotic. Honestly, I think trains would have been nice to do. I think having like a train square for every item would be a really nice way of building the actual layout. So rather than this mess, you'd have a square, a square, a square, and each one would build a specific product and then ship it out and ship stuff in. I think that would be the better way of doing it. For solo at least, because at least then all you've got to do is worry about stamping down a new square, building inside of it, and then just hooking up the train stations. As long as you've built all the stuff you need to build it, you know, the network will start fulfilling the requests. So if you built something like, I don't know, that Molly trucks we were building down south, then technically once you've built that and it's on the network, the next time you request it, you just put the train station down in the one you're building, and boom, it gets delivered to it. So I think if I was doing it solo, I think trains would be the way I'd do it. Yeah, I do feel a bit sorry for Dgray. I mean, to be fair, his bot network and his squares are looking really good, but he's only on the 2nd science, I think. I don't know if he's got the chemical science yet, and his map is already probably half the size of ours, I'd say. And that's again because he's sticking religiously to the squares to build one product in. I think it's going to make the size of the map ridiculous by the end of it. The only saving grace he's got is the fact that it is actually a solo run, so it's offline on his own computer. So as long as his computer can keep up with it, he should be able to build quite a big base. Getting round it might be another challenge. I mean, this flying dragon's been quite nice for the last little oh, we've had it for the last half the run, I'd say. I think without it, would have struggled. Because getting around has been a proper challenge at times. Yeah, I do feel sorry for Dgray. I do look forward to seeing his next stream to see what he does next, where he goes next, and what he builds. I know he's off for a little bit, so hopefully I'll have a stream coming up this weekend or this week. Not this weekend, it is the weekend. I mean this week. This week coming to have another stream. He's been playing Astroneers recently, so hopefully he's had enough on that and he'll be back to Pyanodons. Yeah, this base has been... I think this base has been pretty good fun to build, and I think it's been made all the more fun sort of playing with you guys, having you guys on the server or on Discord, or just watching via the stream and just helping out and, you know, throwing ideas and strategies at us. Because it's made it all the more fun. You know, I think building it solo is fun, but having people to play with and talk to whilst you do it, you know, it's much better. I mean, I think that's why Dgray's probably going to be okay, I think, because he's streaming the run as well as uploading it to YouTube. I think he'll be alright. I think that'll make it more enjoyable in the long run. Okay, there's the rocket. Wow, it built another one straight away. Like there's that much stuff buffered up in the background. Not just the old chest. No, where's the satellite gone? Just picked him up. There it is. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Bye bye, rocket. Bye bye. VIP sofas, yep. I still never figured out how to get the lights to turn on. Hey, there we go, look. And there's the other 1,000 signs coming in. Wonder if that'll actually build another rocket in the time I'm sat around here. Yeah, I like these sofas. These sofas are cool. Get a front row seat. Might be a bit touch close for an actual rocket launch in real life, I suspect. I don't think I want to sit that close, but you know, good view. It's at 25% already. Let's see how quickly that builds up. What's that missing from there? Accumulators. I think they are being made somewhere just very slowly. We're not even using the space science or anything yet, I don't think. Yeah, a lot of the research we're using doesn't even use the space science yet, look. In fact, there you go, it's right down here. You need 5,000 space science for Power Arm Mark 4, 2,000 for that, 2,000 for that. 10k for the shielded singularity equipment. Wow. So that's where your space science goes when you actually build up enough of it. That 41% you actually built up enough in the background. Is this all working up here? Oh yeah, that's better look. And when we first launched the rockets, these were all sat idle because we just couldn't keep up, so it's nice to see we've got the infrastructure now to really hammer out a rocket every sort of few minutes. We're going hell for leather, so that's good. That's really good. We now have officially 2 satellites. Well, yeah, it's weird. The end of the game is to get the space science from a quantum computer, which is what we did. The stuff in the tech tree is up to here. Like you've got Metamide 5 bionics, so that just gives you like better brain recipes. This one here is better bone recipes. This one here is better Renee recipes, better Yadol recipes, better Aquadfill comb recipes. It's all recipe enhancements and animal enhancements. 2 for Mark 4s, Relations. So it's all improvements to your alien life to get more and more animals out to refine the process a bit. Which obviously you don't need to do unless you're going big. If you want to have a big base, like train based, then yeah, you'd need to go down those routes to keep up, otherwise your base would never keep up with the demand. And we're quite lucky with 3 or 4 of us building constantly. We've technically rushed the rocket and rushed the quantum computer and then built up the back end behind it when we've all been on, so it's worked out alright. But on your own you're probably going to have to spend a bit of time going through the tree and just building the back end up a little bit to make sure that when it comes to launching a rocket and getting a quantum computer, you can actually, you know, build it and have all the stuff behind it. Oh, there we go, we ran out at 74, 75%, give or take. It is the low densities again there. Just not keeping up, but that's fine, that's what we expected. So yeah, so technically we completed Pyanodons. I say if you want to be a true completionist, there's still a few more techs to do, but I mean if you watch, we've got nothing researched at the minute, let's go, what's the next one in the tree? So this uses red, green, blue and pi for 200 to get Mark 3 Vrock paddocks. Start researching now. There you go, look, that's not going to take any time at all to research, to be fair. I mean, it should take 50 seconds per pack, 200 packs, and we've got a handful of labs, so you're looking at a few minutes to get that one done. Rinse and repeat a handful of times, and you'll have. We're doing that one. You could easily do that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. You could do all of those, no problem. All of those, no problem. All production science. So they'd all research. They'd all research. The only reason we haven't done it is because we didn't need to. Oh, here we go. Utility science kicks in around here. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit rows done before you hit utility science, which was a bit of a bottleneck. And even then, there's not a lot left to do after that. Oh, I think I just clicked all those. Yeah. So yeah, the end game is basically there. It's much more for efficiency and for refining all your processes if you wanted to. Like we'd started doing, so we'd obviously changed next light plates into like getting 20 at a time rather than 10. All the sciences we did the upgrades to that, so we'd get like, I think it was 10 or 20 at a time rather than the sort of 2 or 3 we were getting. But that was again just a short-term fix to get us to where we wanted to be to launch rockets. So now if you want to, you could go back and just rip up some sections and rebuild it with all new recipes in mind, with the best recipe you can possibly make at the time. So Mark IV buildings everywhere, you know, the best recipe, all the production modules inside, or speed modules, and then you'd have, you know, oh, don't tell me about biters. Oh my god, could you imagine biters on this map? And I know we started around here somewhere, and the biters were sort of in this area, and look how far we had to spread out to finish it. I don't think we'd have managed. I mean, some of the tech, we haven't researched the tech for that, to be fair. I think if you come down here, I don't think, did we actually do, it might stop because I don't think we actually researched military science, if memory serves. I mean, now that we're set up, look how quickly we can upgrade the military stuff. But I know at the start of the game, there was no hope. The amount of space you had to expand into to get the stuff you needed to then be able to build the military stuff meant you were going to meet biters that were like twice your size before you'd even started, which, yeah. But I think Pyanodon himself and the mod makers have basically said the challenge in Pyanodons is the building. The biters are more of a nuisance, more of a hindrance in the end, because they don't add anything. The building and the production queues and the recipes are the challenge with Pyanodons. And I get it, I do get it with that. Biters on would just be... it wouldn't be fun. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the first community server we did, and we had, what was it, Dangerous, and we had biters on. And the biters just expanded and grew to large biters, etc. before we could really get too far. And they absolutely destroyed us. And it wasn't fun. And it was not fun at all. Hence why obviously the vanilla server was born, which we absolutely smashed out a vanilla map in no time at all really with trains. That was really good fun. And then obviously Pyanodons has followed since, which has been really good. We got this. Oh, I've got a satellite. There we go. There we go. Put a satellite in. Woohoo! Off you go. Launch another rocket. Woo! And there we go. There's the first research just done as well. That's set up. So you can see how quickly we could easily clear the research queue now with the infrastructure behind it all. There's not a lot left to do. It's the sort of the polish now. If you wanted to play more, you could just polish off your recipes and tidy up your production queues, tidy up your recipes, make the better recipes and everything. Put modules and everything. Oh, you started Factorio too? Nice. That is a fun mod. That's what I did before this one, and it's such a fun mod to do after vanilla. There's just enough changes to make it more challenging, but it's not so repetitive that you get bored of it. It's got a lovely balance in there. I recommend excuse me, I recommend anyone who hasn't tried a proper modded version of Factorio, Factorio 2 is a really good one to start on if you want something just a bit more than vanilla. And it also allows you to play with other mods, so you could also put on some quality of life mods, so squeak through, and there's that pipe mod I think I was looking at before, looked really good to show you where pipes go, and a few of the bits and bobs. So there's some good mods you can add to that to really have a good fun playthrough, and it's a cracking mod pack. It's not quite as crazy as Pyanodons, but it's a good lead in, and I think from my point of view the order of operations in terms of which mod packs, yes, I was going to say, Phil, I'd go vanilla, Factorio, Angels and Bobs, or Bobs and then Angels and Bobs, and then Pyanodons in terms of difficulty. So I know I looked at Angels and Bobs and went, what? You know, it was really tough, but now obviously I've done this one, I'm thinking, actually Angels and Bobs might not be so bad really, as I know in Angels and Bobs you do get a lot more inserters and different things. So, oh yeah, the space mod, space exploration, that's supposed to be quite good. And I did see someone playing Warptorio as well. That looked kind of interesting. You get like a personal bubble to place down, and then you can teleport from where you are using it back to your base. And it looked like it had layers as well, like you could go down into the planet or something. It was I didn't quite understand it, but it looked really cool. looked like it'd be a fun mod. So yes, there's quite a lot of mods out there to play, and if you're willing to play an old version of Factorio, I think Industrial Revolution still gets high praise for being one of the best mods. Yeah, space exploration, that's the one. Yeah, there's absolutely a good few mod packs out there now for Factorios, which is nice to see. Like, the modding community for this game is better than, you know, some of the mod packs are better than some games that are released, you know, and this is just a mod for this game. So they've done a cracking job, these mod makers, to make some of this stuff. Really, really impressive. I mean, the graphics on some of these buildings, especially in Pyanodons, is just mind-blowing. The amount of effort they put in, and new sounds as well. You know, there's a level of care and detail there that is really, really cool. I've been really impressed with this mod pack. It's been scary. Been scary trying to get it done. Combine space and angels. Oh, wow. That's for the sadists in us, isn't it? You know, I believe as well. King Arthur, who is the co-author of this mod, Pyanodons, is working on a new version, and it's Pi Block. So basically it's like C Block, which is another mod type. Obviously we get C Block, but it's C Block with Pyanodons, and he's building it from scratch. I think there's a couple of streamers that are testing it for him and running through it and working out the kinks and such before it's released widely. But that sounds really interesting, and that sounds stupidly difficult, because obviously you've got the challenge of being on a C Block and then the challenge of Pyanodons all wrapped around it, which I don't know why you'd put yourself through that, but people will. So that's probably send me into a meltdown if I was doing that one. You know, I struggled some nights with this trying to keep up with what we needed to do. Yeah, doing a Pi Block could be the end of me. I think Chase was making a mod, wasn't he? He was looking at making a mod. I think his school took over, because bless him, he was on for a little while and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth. I think all his school stuff is just, you know, it's obviously more important than Factorio, to be fair, so I think he's been doing a lot of that. He's still in Discord, but I don't think he's played for a little while, bless him. But he was going to look at making a mod, but yeah, I think he fell by the wayside. There, so there's a final shot of our map on Pyanodons. Can I get it all in? There we go. Maybe one in. Yeah, there you go. That is the overview of our map of Pyanodons after just over 5 weeks, like 23, 24 days of playing. Server uptime, should we say. That is what we ended up with. Yeah, school's definitely better, Phil, you're not wrong. Ah, what did you get a diploma in? Something computery, I hope. Yeah, that map size is massive as well. Master can be. I thought so. I thought as much. Nice. That's a good one to have under your belt, that is. That can open a lot of doors in the old business world, I suspect. That's just without sounding too cheesy, it's the future. You know, computers are the future. You know, they are what businesses need. They need more of. They need more technical stuff. They need more advanced stuff. Having that sort of stuff under your belt is a cracking idea. Can we speedrun to the speedrun? Yes, Peter, we're getting there now. How did your run go? Have you gone sub 2 yet? I know you were getting really close. And I know Anti-Elites is running tonight, and I think he's starting to creep up on his own times, so... But with that, we'll end Pyanodons, at least. We may revisit in the future, we'll see. But as a community, I think we did a cracking job on that. It was really, really good, and good fun to play with everybody.